Hey everyone, welcome back to the Foundations in Pre-Calculus 10 videos. In this video, we're going to look at Lesson 5 from Chapter 4, which is looking at negative exponents and reciprocals. So when we're given an expression that contains an exponent that is negative, we have to take the reciprocal of that number in order to remove the negative from the exponent. And what a reciprocal is, essentially it's you flip that number. So say if we're working with the number 2, to take the reciprocal, you can rewrite 2 as a fraction, so 2 over 1. So what happens is that you flip-flop the numerator and the denominator. So the 1 moves up top, and then 2 moves down below. So you switch the numerator and the denominator. So say if we had the fraction 3 over 4, the reciprocal of that would be 4 over 3. So another example here would be, say, 1 over 5. That would be 5 over 1, which is just 5. So the reciprocal is essentially you just take the number and you flip it. So if it's not a fraction, you can make it a fraction by writing it over 1. Or say if it's a decimal, you can make it into a fraction using those skills that you learned previously. So anyway, so say if we were to look at the example 4 to the power of negative 2. So here we have a negative exponent. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the reciprocal of our base number, so of 4, and then that gets rid of our negative in the exponent. So take the reciprocal, that becomes 1 over 4. But then we keep the same exponent though. So it stays 2, but now it's just positive instead of negative. And then we would apply just like we normally would. So that exponent of 2 goes to your numerator and the denominator. So 1 squared is 1, and 4 squared is 16. You are able to check this in your calculator. So if you put in 4 to the power of negative 2, you get the exact same decimal number as 1 over 16. Although you are expected to show your work, so make sure you don't just use your calculator for everything. So we're going to look at 2 examples from your notes, and we're going to be looking at 2a and 2b from your notes. So here we're going to evaluate each power without using a calculator. And our first example here is 16 to the power of negative 5 over 4. So our first step here always is that if we have a negative exponent, we always want to take that reciprocal first, because then we're just looking at examples that we have worked with in previous lessons. So let's take the reciprocal of 16, which is 1 over 16, and then it gets the exact same exponent, it's just now positive. So now we're left with 1 over 16 to the power of 5 over 4. So just like in our last video, we're going to rewrite this expression where our index is this denominator, so we can create a radical, and then the exponent is our numerator. So we'll take the 4th root of 1 over 16, and then we'll all go to the exponent of 5. Then you can apply your radical, so that 4th root to 1 and to 16, so you apply both the numerator and the denominator. So the 4th root of 1 is 1, and the 4th root of 16 is 2. And then make sure to rewrite that exponent, as we haven't actually worked with it just yet. So now we can take the exponent for each of our numerator and the denominator. So 1 to the power of 5 is just 1. And then 2 to the power of 5 is 32. And that is our simplified expression there. So now moving on to example B here. So here we have 25 over 36 to the power of negative 1/2. So here, when we already have a fraction as our number, we just swap the numerator and the denominator to take the reciprocal. So our fraction becomes 36 over 25, and then we give it the positive exponent. So the positive 1/2. So here our numerator is 1, so we only have to work with radicals in this case, And here our index is 2, so we're going to be square rooting that fraction. So we can apply that square root to both the 36 and the 25. So square root of 36 is 6, and the square root of 25 is 5. So our answer here is 6 over 5. So that is everything here for this video. So if you guys had any questions, make sure to come see me in class, or you can text me on Remind 101. And thank you guys so much for watching.